Hey, what's going on, survivors? Thanks for tuning in again. This week I'm going to be bringing you the ARK's Moon Survival mod, as you're seeing here as I'm waking up on the floor. Uh, I don't know why I'm waking up on the floor in such a nice space, but anyway, I wanted to bring this to you this week because a lot of people have been talking about it. I've been seeing a lot of videos on it, and I really want to get a chance to check it out. So one thing about me, if you've watched any of my other videos, I can be rather critical when it comes to mods or development or anything like that. So don't take that as a criticism at all. What he's doing here is fantastic. Not taking away from that at all, but I'm always going to be critical and give feedback where I feel like I can. So don't hate me if I say anything that you don't like in this mod. Again, it's a great mod. So what I'll try to do here, I haven't spent a lot of time on it. I feel like when I do these, it's pretty good for you guys to see what the experience is like without a lot of playtime in it. So this is me first coming into the mod, taking a look at it. I did look at it a few weeks back, but a lot has changed since a few weeks. So kudos to David BC and what he's doing, but it is really a great idea to explore. So what I want to do is kind of take you a walkthrough of the basics, how you get started, what you need to look for, and also go through some of the as I'm picking up stone in the middle of the floor. Wow. I didn't even see stone here. Go through it and show you some of the resources, some of the cool UI functions he's added in, and try to show you a little bit. I think there's actually a few servers up running this, so I might even jump into a server and kind of let you see what the PvP world is like with this mod. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's get into the basics here. So the basics of this mod is that it is a survival mod at the core. And why I say that is because if you watch any survival show, the first thing they're going to tell you is look for water, look for fire, or find a way to make fire, I should say. And immediately you're going to see that there aren't a lot of water sources that you're used to, I should say, and there's not in like immediate way to make fire because I don't see a lot of trees here. I don't see wood. So if you're just loading up this mod, those are probably going to be the first two things on your mind. I chose to spawn. I want to say that there are 8 or 9 different spawn points in this. But I chose to spawn at the main base just to give you an idea of what's in here. You'll notice that a lot of the things that you'll see, while they may not look like they have the same functionality as ARK assets, they really do. So for instance, these land over here, these are large storage boxes, work just like normal storage boxes. Oh, I leveled up wisely. I don't know, I feel like I should put my point in oxygen or water, just because it feels like those are going to be pretty important out here. And this gives me a good chance to go through the engrams a little bit. So at the top here, you're going to have your moon gear. This would be your starting gear that you start out with. So you don't really have to craft this to start off with, but I would imagine if it gets broken or it has any type of decay on it, you'll have to recraft them. You have a moon pick, which is very useful for picking up the various ores on the island. You have a phone, a great cell phone, I should say, a mortar pestle, and your radio. But as you can see, if you scroll down here a little bit, I would probably guess that there are about 80 engrams, 90 engrams in here. So I wouldn't say that there's a ton. You have some guns. I haven't really dug into the end level, but hopefully I'll get to show you some of that here. But just want to show you the main base here. There's an ASIC script miner, and I'll get into that a little bit later because I think that's a little bit further in your progression line. But a lot of the things in here give you access to storage boxes and different, even just little aesthetics like a flower pot, which is nice to have. I'm not really sure how those are growing on the moon, but we're gonna forget about that and just look at the pretty flowers. We also have a laptop over here, 2 laptops. I'll get into that also a little bit later just because it shows a little bit more of the cool UI functions he has added in. I'm really a fan of what he's done with the UI. Is this just a broken... Did I break that? I don't remember breaking that, but all right. So the main base is pretty cool. You can sit on the moon benches, have a seat, chill out a little bit, relax from your hard day on the moon. Ladders, Let's see what's on the top level here. Top level, we have a bunch of storage boxes. So I guess is what this is telling me is that you'll probably never need to craft a storage box. And on that same point, I'm not sure if you really need to. I guess you would. I was going to say that I'm not sure if you need to create a base on this because you already have a pretty nice base here. But I would imagine if you want an outpost or if you're exploring and you can't make it all the way back, then I guess you would probably want one. This table is really cool. I don't think it really has a function other than being a table, but it's a really cool looking table. I have to give them credit. A lot of a lot of the art blends together very well. It's very doesn't look like he cobbled together a bunch of sources of art from different people. Looks like these are all from one designer. I'm not sure if it's him or not. He may have an artist on this, but I'll know a little bit more because I'll be doing an interview with him a little bit later. Today actually or tomorrow, and we'll talk about this mod and I'll get that out in the community crunch. But these are the basics. You start off in a camp here. You have access to a lot of storage boxes. You even have a security fence just in case something comes wandering for you. And you have some broken down rovers. I wouldn't even say broken down, but they're not operational. But this would be your home starting base. Not a ton in here, but it's definitely better than starting off in normal vanilla ARK, or I should say standard ARK, is because you pretty much start off on the end of an island with nothing. And here it at least feels like you have something. Wow, we have cameras. That is just a nice touch. Again, there's a lot of little nice touches in here that I don't know if everybody's going to notice, but I pick up on things like that. Even if it doesn't do anything for functionality, it definitely adds to immersion. This definitely feels more immersive when you have things like this. So we have a camera, just Big Brother watching us as we're playing this mod. So what I'll do is I'll get out and explore a little bit because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some water soon. As you can see, the decay rate doesn't look like it's fallen down too low. I started, can't remember how long I started, but I still have 93 water, so not too bad at all. I don't think it'll be a very urgent thing to just immediately go out and source water, but I would imagine that you will want to find a source pretty soon. So what I'll do next is I'll get out of the main base a little bit and start exploring and showing you what the landscape has to offer. Hey, so I'm running back to the base and we're going to take a look at the engram list and we're going to see if we can craft some things. I don't know if I've explored this building here. I do know that I think that's the main base to my right. Here, I don't think that I've explored here, so maybe we'll go inside, take a look, see if there's anything we can scavenge or make use of. Actually, this is the main base, so we'll take a look at this building here because I don't think that I went inside of here. I'm sure there's some pretty cool stuff just like the main base, so we'll check it out here. These appear to be solar panels, and yes, they are solar panels. Solar panels on the moon. There we go. Whoa, am I stuck? So look, seems like we have a little bit of a a little bug here. Looks like the collision on the doors, and I've done the same thing, so that's why I'm laughing. Looks like the collision on the doors has not been set properly. So what that means is that you won't actually be able to go through, or is this just a window? Am I that? Wow, this might just be a window, guys. So, excuse me. Let's see if there's a proper door. Okay, no, I think that's supposed to be a door. Yeah, that's supposed to be a door. Alright, so this is not a window. And I can't demolish it very easily, so I really want to try to get in here. All right, so we'll just forget that. I did turn on the solar panels. I'm not sure what they're actually what they're powering up, but it looks like a fabricator is in there. So this looks like a really cool place that you'll want to get into, but you'll definitely have to find a way inside, and it's not going to be on the ground. So what we'll do is we'll cheat here, and we'll get inside of this because I'm an admin. I can do whatever I want. Alright, look at that. We're back inside here. Cool. All right, so looks like we have some bunk beds. Very cool. Take a nap, more flowers, more storage boxes. I'm really interested in what's on the ground floor because this appears to be a fabricator, and it is, but I don't think that we can use it. So must be here for aesthetics. Would have been cool if it actually worked to help me. Oh wow, we have some free stuff here: magnifying glass, more water. Um, so it looks like I think David BC knew that water would definitely be something that people have a learning curve trying to figure out. Excuse me, how to get water because I still haven't figured it out yet. I mean, I have ice and it spoils. Okay, so the spoil rate is not too bad on it, but I have ice. I'm just not sure how to melt it down yet. So just looking in here. All right, so we have a forge. I'm wondering if we can put ice in the forge. Nope. I'm I realize that may not make sense, but I'm really just trying everything here. So it looks like your ores are going to go inside here. Platinum, titanium, ice, silver. So silver, copper, and silicone all go in there. Nickel does not. Magnesium does not. Gold does. Titanium, I would think titanium would go in there if the others do. Uh, So there are definitely metals that go in certain places, I should say. I probably could have talked to David and figured all this out, but I really like for you guys to see what the experience is like for a person just coming in without insider knowledge. And that is me right now. I talked to him a little bit, I played it a little bit, but I'm not really sure of everything that's going on. Here, it looks like we have some type of oxygen machine. Yeah, it is an oxygen machine. Very cool. So E is show max distance. All right, so it shows you. So okay, looks like there might be a bug with the oxygen machine. It looks like when I enable it, I can walk through this door. Before I could not. Let's see if I can actually walk back. Oh, I shouldn't have walked out the door. All right. But what the oxygen machine does is show you where you have a radius of oxygen. What we'll do is we'll take off our helmet here, see if our oxygen decreases, and it does. And no, it's not. There we go. We're staying at a constant 99. Still a little bit of fluctuating, but we're staying at a healthy 99. So this is how you would create an uh, oxygen plentiful base. Is you would basically create one of those, and now I'm suffocating that quickly. So seems a little. Oh, and I'm dying. Wait, wait, wait. But I'm inside. I thought my oxygen. And we're back after an uneventful death. We are back here. So a little, a little note to wise about the oxygen creator or the oxygen machine. Definitely be careful about using that. I want to imagine that it happened because I was not on the first level anymore and I went higher because I had to fly to try to get over this hump or over through this door that's not really a door. I imagine that's why it happened. So, note of the wise: be careful before you take off your helmet because it could mean a very quick death for you. And as you can see here, that's my poor body. My poor body. I'm gonna loot my poor body and grab all the stuff that I have for. Probably not everything. We'll drop. We'll drop some of this basic stone. Nobody needs that crap. And actually, I didn't need the extra suit, but you know what? I'm going to take it because I'm guessing these could come in handy. I haven't seen any durability loss on them yet, but I'm pretty sure it can happen. So without further ado, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the actual crafting. I'm going to run back to the main base for that. We'll take a look at the engrams and we'll see if we can do a little bit of crafting. And if I don't have the materials that I need, I'll probably just cheat some, man. just so you can see how you craft, some of the things you can craft, what materials you'll need, and some of the things in the game that you won't probably experience until you're a little bit into it and you've probably established yourself a little bit. So let's take a look at the engrams. Engrams, we can make gasoline. Pretty sure I'm going to need to know how to make that. Compass, I'm going to do it without. Flare gun, magnifying glass. I don't really want to do a storage box because there's a ton of them around here. Pretty sure you're going to need this electric stuff. How you would kind of sustain yourself out here. Now I'm wondering if you don't really do fire as far as a fuel source, you probably would just use gas and electric for boiling some of this water. That's what I've been trying to figure out, is how to boil or melt the water, I should say. And mortar and pestle, so we'll probably need one of those. Oh, we don't have any more engrams. That sucks. So another minor bit of criticism here is that I do like that he went and created, custom assets for the normal standard ARK assets, like the mortar and pestle, storage box. But the one thing that I'm going to point out, at least for me, is visually I like to see a little bit of difference so I can tell what it is. This mortar and pestle, I guess once you play it for a while, you'll get used to it, but it looks very similar to this toolbox and a lot of the other boxes. There's no way to immediately, for me, to distinguish when you're first coming in the game. Of course, if you played this for a while, you'll know this stuff. But when you're first coming in the game, there's no way to immediately extinguish, or not extinguish, to distinguish what these things are. And maybe that's because of space, you don't really know what it's going to look like, and things like that. But for me, I found it a little like, this is a toolbox. I almost thought that was a mortar and pestle. So little things like that, again, not really big things at all, not game breaking, but like to point these things out. Sometimes feedback is good. Sometimes you can take feedback and say, I'm going to toss that in the trash. You can do that as well, but I feel like feedback is always good, whether you use it or whether you don't. So let's take another look at these engrams, see what we'll need to make some of this stuff. Solar panel. We're going to go. Solar panel looks like it takes copper, silver, spark powder. I haven't really seen a way to make spark powder yet. Electrical outlets, a lot of copper and silver, it looks like. Those are going to be your main things for the electric line, it looks like. Magnifying glass, obsidian, silver crystal. So it looks like, the good thing about it is it looks like when you mine from the standard rocks in the game, looks like you get every type of resource you'll need to make the major components in the game. Some people may like that, some people may not, because you may be of the opinion that varying or making the resources more varied encourages people to get out and explore, see other parts of the moon. But some people may like it because you don't have to go out searching all day for this special rock that's only in one place. You can go and you can collect it from any rock that's out here. And I could be wrong on this. Maybe there are specialized rocks, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's pretty much everything. So just a note of the wise, if you're looking for a specific resource, I don't think there's specialized rocks for them. But again, I could be wrong. So feel free to correct me in the comments. So you're going to see that's pretty much gathering resources. What I'll do here is I'm going to basically cheat. I'm going to cheat, add some experience, get some different resources so I can show you kind of crafting and some of the end game things. I don't want you to be stuck in the beginning, without seeing a lot more of what the mod has in the end. So give me a second, let me grab some items, and we'll keep rocking. Alright, I'm back, and I've actually spawned in a few things, not everything, because there's a lot of things in this total conversion, and You know, it would take probably a few hours to go through and do an in-depth review on this, but what I wanted to do is show you, it looks like a few of the key components that you're going to need. So on one side here, I have a drilling machine, and my guess, everything, so first of all, everything takes gas. You're going to want to make gas as soon as you get here, and that's going to be made by, let me scroll down here. That's going to be made by having 1 oil, 5 silicone, 2 silver ingots. Now, I'm not entirely sure why you need silver ingots to make gas, but you know, that is the mod maker's decision to do that. So it is what it is. So you're going to need to make gas because it looks like everything is powered off of gas. You can make that in the mortar and pestle, which is in this game. But on the left hand side here, I have a drill, and my guess is that over time it's going to be able to pick up different ores from the moon. It even says in here, it can take a long time before getting the first resources. Don't be afraid. I've had this on probably about 3 or 4 minutes, and it hasn't yielded anything yet. So you win some, you lose some. You know, you can't win if you're not playing. So I had to use some gas here to actually get this up and running, although my gas isn't turning into anything fruitful just yet. And it's very weird to keep saying my gas and gas, so I'm going to say gasoline because it sounds more proper to me. Here we have an oil machine. Same thing here, I had to put in gasoline to potentially get oil, and right now it's not yielding anything, so not sure how long it takes, but what we'll do here is we'll do a little bit of walking around and we'll come back to this. But you can see here there also are a tier of structures, moon structures, which look really, really nice, and they already come lit, which is pretty cool as well. But yeah, there's definitely some moon structures here. A very nice modeled set, so kudos. It looks very, very well. So very good job on these. These look amazing. These look amazing. So you can build your own moon base. I want to say that there are let's check real quick. I want to say that there are metal tiered, the metal structure tier as well. And maybe I was wrong. So yeah, no, moon floor simple. I guess not. Alrighty, I thought they were metal. It's very weird that. So we have some moon structures here. So moon floor simple, moon window wall, wall complex, large wall. And then up here we have some as well. So these, I guess these are simple. I would imagine probably that one set offers a greater line of defense versus the other. The simple are probably less durable and have less protection than the complex ones. But again, I haven't really dug too deep in to know. But that's something you'll want to explore. I would guess my assumption is right on that though. But for those of you that like a lot of different customizations, I'm not sure that you're going to be okay with having one styled set of structures. Maybe that's something that's in the works as far as he'll be adding in more. But right now it looks like you only have one style, and I know people love their customizations and different, making their homes look different, so that might be something that you don't care for. Just want to point that out. But we'll go back to the main base here, and I did want to show you, wow, it looks pretty cool at night here. I did want to show you one of the very cool pieces that David BC was able to add in here. So there's a laptop. Your laptop gives you this really, really cool interface. Even down here you have links to social avenues, convenient link to PayPal there. It's very cool. Over on the right you have some simulated computer system stuff that you'll see pop up. So very cool with what he's doing here. I just want to go through this. Here's probably the map. Yep, here's the map. You can take a look at that. The user interface is really cool. Looks like he put some time into this. I definitely know that there was a good amount of time put into this, so wanted to point this out. You can even come in here, BTC. So BTC is like an in-game currency from what I can tell, and you can get that using the ASIC script miner. I showed that a little bit earlier in the mod. So the ASIC script miner allows you to make BTC and LTC, I think, and then what you can do is you can come in here and you can buy those various resources from here. Now, if you are, you can even convert if you have one or the other. If you're like me, and I don't know if that's going to be game breaking for some of you to be able to come in and buy, you know, assets or resources. Survival games, to me, I don't really like the buy concept for me personally. But did want to point that out is that you can come in here and you come in and buy stuff. The thing I do like about what he's done here, though, is that you have the option. So if you don't want to come in and you don't want to spoil your immersive experience by, you know, having to buy everything, you don't have to. It's just here as an option for those that like to. So kudos for him on that. And here you even have a news function where you can see. So a lot of you may or may not know that David BC was also worked on the Pirate World mod, which is definitely a fan favorite. So he definitely has some experience in bringing together good quality mods. So. And I think it's almost like showing the almost like the stock market where you can see the value of the current currency, which is really cool. So I really like some of the things that he's doing here. It seems very immersive, very immersive. And I bet there are other plans to add on to other things in the UI here. But as you can see, definitely a nice start. I love what he's doing here. I can only say keep it up because it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. We'll go ahead and we will set the time of day back so we can actually see what we're doing. But yeah, very cool. I really like what he's done with the UI. And one of the very subtle things that you'll notice, I don't know if there's one around here. I know there is one somewhere. There's a cassette player, so you can actually play music. You can find different tapes on the moon and play music. The mortar and pestle, I was looking for this earlier. So yeah, gasoline, this is where you'll make that. Cementing paste, you'll need that as well, and gunpowder, of course, because there is a full line of guns. I haven't even shown you some of the other things that are on the island that you'll need guns for. Not island, sorry, so used to ARK. The moon that you'll need guns for. So I'll show you some of those here soon, but did want to show you a little bit of you know, what the crafting looks like. Want to come back here and show you you know, a few of the things that you'll need to take note of. We'll run back over here real quick and see if we started producing any ore or any oil just yet. So let's see what we have. So we got a little bit of stone. Doesn't seem too fruitful. Not very fruitful. That seems like it's going to take a while. And here we have a little bit of oil, so not too bad. Not too bad at all. So what we'll do next is I'll show you a little bit more of what the island has to offer. I think you can see it in the backdrop here. Is there are some things that you'll want to explore and you know, check out on the island. Even though it seems like the landscape and the level as far as map is a work in progress, he is adding, you know, Easter eggs and things to discover all the time. So we'll do a little bit of exploring, and the cool thing about it is we're going to do it on the Rover, one of the coolest vehicles I've seen for ARK thus yet. So we'll check that out and we'll do a little bit of exploring, and I'll show you around. Cruising. Oh, hey, so we're cruising in the Rover here on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, sorry for my singing there. I really love that song. But so we're cruising in the Rover here. Very cool Rover, as you can see. Look at this. Very awesome, realistic physics. I have to give it to him. I really know a lot of time went into this Rover. Very impressive, and it's only really it shows what's capable and what could be coming soon to you. More vehicles. You know, people doing different types of vehicles. Maybe we'll see a helicopter, airplane, or something. Who knows? This is just showing that the sky's is the limit when you go to open the development kit. There's a lot that you can do. There's a lot that you wouldn't really think that you can do there, but there is a ton to be explored and a ton of ideas that are very capable if you really have the ingenuity and you have the patience and dedication to get it done. We're driving to these huge rings over here. I'm really not sure what they are. I'm not sure what they're here for. Um, and also, I just wanted to point out that there are a couple cool cinematics for this mod as well. So definitely check those out on YouTube. There's some very, very cool ones. Oh wow, and we have our first, this is the first NPC that I've seen. So I'm a little nervous. Don't want to die again. First I died by losing oxygen. Don't want to die. So we're going to just politely get out of its way. But these were not in when I first got into the game. There wasn't any type of NPC, which is another reason why I put it down for a while. I think one of the cool things about ARK is you have so many NPCs. Being able to tame them and have them as pets, I think adds a lot of immersion into the game. So for me, when I first loaded it up and there wasn't like dinosaurs, NPCs, or anything to really interact with, it kind of it turned me away for a little bit. So I'm glad to see that he's starting to add NPCs in here because it gives the game a focus. It gives the game, you know, kind of something to do, I should say. So I'll point out that if you come near this big structure here, I'm guessing that this is where the NPCs are going to be. So note of the wise, if you do want to come out exploring, you probably want to be prepared, unlike I am. You know, I could cheat it out real quick, put on God mode, and we'll see what these things actually do, but we'll try to first like run over them because I don't really want to get out the rover. See if they aggro to the rover. They don't appear to aggro to the rover, so that's something that's pretty cool. I guess you can say it's cool. It's cool to, oh wow, and I almost tipped it. I guess you could say it's cool because you can get out, you can explore, and you don't really have to worry about, you know, dying. But I would imagine if I got out of this rover, that they would be on me pretty quickly. And I'll show you that here in a second because I don't want to spoil everybody's fun and seeing me die. So I know that's what you're all here for. So I'll give that to you. But this is a very cool kind of site to explore. Not really sure what it's here for, why it's here, but maybe that'll add into some of the lore and the mod. I mean, I think people would definitely wonder why you're on space, or why you're in space, how you got here, how you're going to get off. Just checking these because it. Oh wow. Okay, so we can actually use those. If you were checking out earlier, we can actually use these to buy things. So these are almost, I would almost, and there's a cassette tape. I would almost consider these like the supply crates that drop in ARK. That's what I would liken these to because they seem very similar as far as you get the loot from them. Upgrade. Upgrade level 1 to extend the oxygen zone in your oxygen machine. How cool is that? So you have an upgrade component to these structures, which is pretty cool. Did not know that. I'm finding that out for the first time with you guys. Like I said, I like to play the mod as you would. This is kind of like really my first playthrough other than a few weeks ago to check it out and just kind of look at some of the aesthetics. But so you can upgrade some of your structures, which is a very cool concept. And improvise explosive device. Yep, more music. I really like the idea of music. I'm not going to lie. It's very simple, but I mean, I think music is one of the things that unite us all. And it's something that no matter who you are, you can relate to. So I really like the idea of having music in the mod, especially if you're in space and there's really not a lot to do. You might need a little bit of music. And we even have seeds. So I did notice that there were crop plots. I would imagine that you'll have to use your water, of course. I'm not. It's kind of a catch-20 because you have a limited set of water, and you really want to prioritize that for drinking, in theory, rather than putting into plants. But you also need food. So it puts you in quite a conundrum to figure out how to manage your resources. And a lot of times, survival games are all about management of resources. So, and you're going to find a lot of water. So I'm definitely seeing that water. I can imagine that David BC got some feedback on, oh, more music, some feedback on water, and people probably saying that it was hard. So he's definitely adding in a lot more water-based drops or supplies in here, probably to ease out with some of the troubles people were having. But what we'll do is I'll jump back onto my rover. I think it's on this side here. Uh-oh, there's it's one of our buddies. And yeah, it aggroed. Like I said, I think it would aggro if I was out of the rover. And it is. Luckily, it's not fast, and it's kind of moving like a scorpion. It reminds me of the scorpion. It has the same sounds. I'm not sure if he changed the model or not. I'm not really going to get too close to check it out. If you don't mind me, I'll just run back to the rover and see if we can get back to home base, and then I'll show you some of these. I'll show you the music. I'll show you the ASIC script miner. Um, did my rover disappear? Where where's my rover? Well, anyway, as I try to make it back to home base, there it is. As I try to make it back to home base, I will show you uh, the cassette player. I'll show you the ASIC script miner, and I'll kind of do a wrap up because, again, there's tons of content in here. No way that I'll be able to cover it all, but I'll give you a good idea of what's here. So once they've aggroed onto me, they will aggro on the car. One thing that would be cool is an upgrade for the speed in the rover. I mean, it could give you a competitive advantage, to be honest, when this comes to PvP. So, might not be a bad idea if you can add something like that. And to be honest, let's see if they're still. Oops. I was trying to see if they were still trailing me. Looks like they aren't. So their aggro range is, not too far. But to be honest, I'm not sure how I'm going to get back home. I haven't looked at the landmarks enough to know how to navigate. It's one of the things that I kind of miss about the main island or map and level is that it gives you ways to orient yourself. And right now, I don't have many ways to orient myself. So I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where I'm going. And I could be driving around for quite some time. But, whoa, are those dinosaurs? I think they are. So it looks like he added. No, these are just skeletons running around. And I can drive right through them. Awesome. Alright, so we have skeletons. Just roaming around. Interesting take on an NPC. But again, I like some NPCs better than no NPCs. So I'll take it. Is this our home base? Yeah, we did a jump. So what I'll do is I'll try to find a home base, and then I'll kind of show you a few more of the things that I've noticed, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll probably wrap it up with jumping on to one of the servers and seeing if we can get any good PvP action or see what some of the people are building once we get on there. So I'll see you in a bit. Hey, so I finally made it back to home base. I'm not going to lie, it took about 20 minutes of exploring to get back here. But I'm pulling back up in the rover here, and there's a cool kind of first-person shot, although you see it's kind of, you get a bug every now and then where it looks like the helmet or shield is kind of overlaying. But it's a very cool first-person shot, very immersive of you just kind of chilling out on the rover with a lot of different Minority Report looking screens in front of you. But we're going to pull back into the base here, and hopefully I can do a little bit of wrap up and show you the cassette player, because I'm really excited about this. And no, this isn't our home base, but we can get out here and we can probably walk the rest of the way. Where is this? No, this isn't even home base. Oh my. So I spent 20 minutes, roaming around, and just want to point out this wonderful view right there. But I spent 20 minutes roaming around and didn't even make it back to home base. I made it to a different base, probably on the other side of the moon. But we'll stop in here and see if there's anything different, than things that we've been seeing so far. So we got some berries here. And all this time doing this playthrough, you can notice I haven't really needed to eat or drink. So I can say that the rates are reduced for sure. Not sure what they're reduced to, but it seems like they're reduced. So we're going to go ahead and take all this real quick. We'll turn on the solar panels. I do like the concept of there being already established bases, because you would imagine that somebody had explored the moon and this is probably what they left behind. So that's pretty cool. Mortar and pestle here, the access inventory. Wanted to show you the ASIC script miner. And this is a cooker, so this is where I would imagine we would put the ice. I don't have any on me right now because I probably when I died, lost everything. So that sucks. Wanted to at least kind of cook some ice, but I would imagine that's where you put it at. So if you're looking for ice, cassette player, that's what I was really looking for. But the cassette player is very cool, and this is the oxygen room. So if I take off my helmet, let's see if I die unlike last time. All right, oxygen. Something very weird about that. It looks like we're protected though. You can see that our barrier is showing. So what we'll do is run up here to the cassette player. That is the ASIC script miner. So I'll come back down here and I'll show you that here in a second. But the cassette player, I really love this concept. Come on. Inventory. We picked up a couple of tapes out here. You can only play one at a time. Okay. Yeah, I want to dance. Although I don't know how I'm going to get food or water, it makes me happy. So it's cool. It just kind of plays in the background. Very, very, very cool. We can't actually stop it though. All right. Might be a little bug there. See if we take it out. All right. There is no way to stop the music, FYI. So what we'll do is we'll probably reset, because it probably won't be helpful with the music going in the background and me trying to talk over it, or maybe it doesn't cause a problem. But we'll probably just load back in real quick and start this over so I can finish the wrap up and show you a little bit of the ASIC script miner. Be right back. And we're back. So I did want to show you this ASIC script miner. It's probably the last key thing I'll show you because I think it's pretty important. It'll need to be powered. And it's unpowered. I thought there were solar panels out here. And the solar panels are on. Well, one of them was on. So we'll see if now this will allow us to use the ASIC script miner. So, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, so forgive me. Still unpowered. Not sure what you have to do to power it, but it looks like what this will do is it'll allow you to mine these bitcoins. Bitcoin. Oh man, that's so awesome. If anybody doesn't know about Bitcoin, definitely do some checks on it. But it's very cool they added it into here. But these are the in-game currencies where you can use your. So the I showed you the laptop earlier, but you can also use your phone, which I don't have on me. Hmm. You spawn with the phone, so probably important to keep that nearby. But you saw it earlier. There are several menus that you can go to and actually craft or buy, I should say, buy different resources that you'll need on the island. I guess, or not island. Sorry, I keep saying that, but the moon. I'm sure it will come in handy. Don't get me wrong. Oh, you can go to the laptop. The laptop works the same way. But here you can log in, you can go shopping, you can buy, different tools, different farming things that you'll need. I like the way that crop plot looks, by the way. Looks very good. And you could even, just buy miscellaneous thing. If you have a lot of money and you're balling, you can buy the Rover. But I don't think you will start off like that. But yep, you just click on it, you buy it, and it'll consume your money. So I can see this actually being pretty cool in a PvP or online experience, not in single player. I don't really think that it really adds much to single player at all. I can see it being very useful in a multiplayer environment, which we'll check out right after this. I'll kind of do a wrap up here and I'll do it and we'll load into one of these servers that's available right now. There aren't a lot of servers out for this, but what we'll do is we'll jump in and we'll see what the PvP experience looks like, and I'll do a little bit of a wrap up for you. So that's coming up next. All right, so I'm going through and I'm creating a character on a PvP server. And I'll do kind of a wrap up for you guys. Of course, whenever I do these, I'm never going to go really, really in depth. So you might want to check out a different video for that if you're looking for an in-depth review. I try to cover the basics. I try to give a little bit of critical feedback, not only on the development side, but on the gameplay side and the user experience side. So I did want to check out a PvP. I did want to check out a PvP server just to see what people are doing. I think it's kind of weird that you all spawn in kind of the same. Well, I guess that's not more weird than the normal game. But it just feels very weird to me if we all like spawned in that little base that we started off on. It seems like that would be weird, and that's where I'm going to spawn at actually. All right, let's see if there's anybody in here that's waiting to show me some love. And just a great time to spawn. As you can see there, you can't see anything, so this would be great for doing a wrap up. Sarcasm. Doesn't seem to be anybody in here. So there's actually only 4 people on this server right now, and immediately I'm cold. There's only 4 people on the server at this moment, and it looks like they've already have a couple things built. They have an industrial forge here, and a few other things, but I wanted to just kind of take a little run around. You probably can't see much, sorry, I can't really control the time here. This is just kind of a random thing I wanted to do, but I wanted to jump on the server to see if the multiplayer experience varied at all, to see if we saw anything differently. So my wrap up on this, my wrap up is that it's definitely a cool idea. I think anytime you think of survival and you think of surviving, I don't think there can be a harsher place to survive than the moon. Honestly, I don't think anything's surviving out there. So the fact of trying to survive out there is enticing and compelling. So for actual survival, that feeling of surviving and that immersiveness, it's great. I'm going to give it that. It definitely makes you feel like you need to survive. And, you have to have a constant supply of water, a constant supply of fuel, or you're not going to make it very long. And then the oxygen, of course, you'll need oxygen on the moon. We have a helmet on, as you can kind of see here. So it's not, it gives that feeling of survival. My feeling on it, though, is that it it feels a little loose right now as far as content. once you get in here, you don't have the aspect of taming dinosaurs. You don't have the aspect, at least not that I'm aware of. I could be wrong on that. You don't have the aspect of taming dinosaurs. There's not a lot of NPCs. So, in honesty, the most that you're going to do if you don't get on a PvP server, you're probably just going to build a base and see how much water you can collect, and maybe do a little bit of exploring. But I think that that would get a little dull at some point. So as far as content and I feel like there still needs to be a little bit of work done to make this a more enjoyable experience. Like I said, for PvP, maybe you can get on here. These forges are everywhere. Maybe you can get on here and you can have some fun, battling it out with other people. But if you're on a single player experience, it looks like this is someone's Rover. If you're on a single player experience, I don't see many things that are going to compel me to keep playing it. And that's just me. Again, I'm going to be critical. I'm going to give my opinion. It's a great mod. It's a great start. I feel like there's still a little bit of polish work to do. And then I go back to the terrain. The terrain is just kind of flat. It's uninspiring. You get on the island or you see some of these other maps like the Center or Valhalla. They're visually enticing. It makes you want to explore. Here, I walk out of the base and I'm like, yeah, I'll just stay in the base. There's not really much out here I need to look at. That's partly due to the fact that the the map is just so bland to me. It's very flat. It's very single textured. It doesn't really compel me to get out and play. Again, these are things that I'm sure he's working on, and there's a lot of work that goes into this. So I'm not, again, not discrediting or not taking away from anything that has been done here. Just pointing out some of the things that you'll probably want to know if you're going to jump on this mod. So the landscape. Not too great in my opinion. The level, the map, it definitely needs some work. Some of the textures need work. The one positive thing I haven't seen too many bugs, things that aren't designed the way that they're supposed to work. So the only one that I did see is when I was trying to go through that door and I could not get through it. So just some minor collision issues on there, but it doesn't appear to be a lot of bugs. So that's a plus. There are a lot of mods in the workshop to where you don't want to put it on a server, you don't want to play with it because it's just ridden with bugs. So give him a round of applause on that. Not a lot of bugs, so plus on that. The other thing I called out a little bit earlier, it's very hard to distinguish the assets and the tools. So the oil miner, yes, you can distinguish that. The drill, yes, you can distinguish that. But the mortar and pestle, the toolboxes, the storage boxes, all of those look the same to me. And it's very hard to distinguish them from a distance. So that's just a minor thing. I wouldn't call that a game breaker. Honestly, I didn't find many game breakers here. Sometimes I'll review a mod and I'll be like, you know what? I would never play that because that's a game breaker to me. There aren't any here. It just comes down to preference, what you like to play, how you like to play it. If you're looking for more of a PvP experience and wanting to check out what life would be like on another planet, this is definitely something to check out. I would say that is in my opinion, not ready for prime time yet, but I don't think any mods are really ready for prime time because the game is not ready for prime time. So it makes it hard to make a mod that's ready for prime time. But it's definitely a lot of polish on this. Definitely a lot of thought has went into this. The other thing that I'll say is that I don't like the gravity. The gravity does not appear to have been changed at all. So that's one of the things that I'm not necessarily a fan of. I feel like if you're on a moon and it's a space environment, then there should be some type of gravity difference than what we would see in ARK, and there's just not here. So it takes a little bit away from the immersion of the game. Immersion is such a key for me. So if immersion is your big thing, then there are going to be some things in this mod that you're going to like a lot, and there's going to be some things that you probably don't like a lot. So it'll be up to you to check it out and see what it's like. But with all that said, it's impressive. It's impressive, period. The concept, the art, the work that has went into it, the thought, all of that, it's impressive. So when I give this critical feedback and I give these points, I'm I'm not saying this to say that you should never try this mod, but I'm saying if David BC is listening or another developer is listening, this is feedback that the people that are going to play your mods are going to think, and I think this feedback is valuable for making improvements to the mod. So I definitely want to give it to you and definitely want to share it with you. So my overall thoughts on it is that it's definitely a cool mod, a lot of cool functionality in it. I think it needs a little bit more maturity before I would like really throw it on a server or really play it a lot, just because I don't feel like there's enough to experience yet. With the main game, you have tons of engrams, goes all the way into the tech tier, tons of interactivity with the environment. He's just starting to add some aspects of the environment here, as we saw with a couple NPCs and things like that. But when I played it a few weeks ago, there was none of that in there. So based on the progress I've seen in a few weeks, I think it only needs a couple more weeks and maybe a month of maturity before I can see it really taking off with more people. Not to say that it isn't popular now, because it's very popular, but I can see it being even more popular once it gets a little bit more mature and you're able to see more of that gameplay play out. So for me, my things that I've mentioned about the mod shouldn't take away from your willingness to try it out. I think it's worth a try regardless. I mean, download it, give it a shot, and then give them some feedback. That is the way that we make these mods better. Give him feedback, and that way this mod will become the best base mod that we have out there. But I want to thank you for your time. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of. If you don't like this style, if you do like this style, please give me some feedback on the topic of feedback, because it'll help me make these videos better for the entire community, and that's what we want. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I'll be back with more, of course, checking out different mods. If there's a mod that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments, and we'll try to check it out later. But for now, that's all I got. I'll check you guys out later.